Okay.
That's why Mr. First supposed to do.
Okay, so we are going to look at these different things that we have here. Okay, and we have to sort them into whether they're an inherited trait or a learned behavior. Okay, so on the back of this sheet here in our foldable, you'll notice you have two sections: examples of inherited traits, examples of learned behaviors. And that's where we're going to sort them out. Ask 3 before me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So our examples that we have here. First, we're going to go through them together, and I want you just to remember which ones you're going to put where. Okay. You don't have to write it. It's okay. You don't have to write it. We're going to then cut them out, and we will glue them into our foldable. Okay. All right. So let's talk about one that we just had up on our sort that we did. Spines on a cactus.
That's
Inherited.
Right. So it's a characteristic. Remember from our foldable. It's a characteristic that is passed on to them. Okay.
Yes,
Something you're
parents.
born with. What?
Do cactus have parents?
They don't have parents. We would not call them parents since they are a
Isn't it
plant.
cactus even producer?
Yes, it is. Okay.
You know that I'm the only one in my whole family that has this attachment.
Okay. Cool. So something you inherited from your parents or from somewhere along the line. Okay. All right. So spines on a cactus. You cannot learn how to do that. You're not taught how to do that. Therefore, we would consider that to be inherited. Good. Okay. Using a calculator.
That's
Learned. Okay. If I gave you a calculator, would I have to teach you how to use it whenever you were young? Obviously, now you know how to use one, but why do you know how to use one now?
Because I was taught.
Somebody taught you that, right? You learned it. That is a learned behavior. Okay? So we're going to put that one under learned. The shape of your ear. Inherited, right? So it depends on what you're born with. It's not like you just get to say, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to change my earlobe to be unattached because that's what I want. No, nobody gets to choose that, right? What about cooking? Bless you. That is learned, okay? You can spend time in the kitchen. You can observe a learned behavior, right? We talked about that. It can be through observation. Or, of course, you have instruction. Somebody's standing there teaching you, okay? What about spider spinning a web?
Inherited.
I talked about this one earlier. That one is inherited. I know it sounds crazy, but that one is inherited. Okay? They are born with just an instinct, kind of like the bears we talked about whenever they go to hibernate. Okay? They're not taught. Their mama doesn't say, hey, during these months, you got to go into a cave and you got to hibernate. They're not taught it. They just have that instinct that they just know, like, you know what? This is the time of year that I need to go and do what I'm supposed to do. Right? Some of the things, there's things in you that just tell you, like, you have instincts that say you need to do this or this or this because it's the right thing to do. That's kind of like the bear with their hibernating. Okay. What about riding a bike?
Learned.
Learned. Okay. Thank you for correcting yourself. Learned. Somebody teaches you how to ride a bike. Fishing.
I taught myself.
Learned.
I taught
Learned.
myself how to ride a bike.
Snow skiing.
Learned.
Learned. Okay. But did you hear that word you used? I'm gonna go back for a second. You taught yourself how to. You weren't just born knowing how. You had to actually learn it. Okay? So it still works. These little duck feet you see here, webbed feet. Inherited. Okay? They get that passed down from a parent. This one stumped my last class. Let's see how you guys do. Are y'all ready? Okay. Taste of an apple.
Inherited.
Learned.
Why is it inherited?
Because you were born in taste buds.
No, what they're saying here is an apple, okay, can the apple choose its taste?
No, because it can't make itself.
Or is it just
It's just born.
made that way, right? So it is, it's inherited. The taste of an apple, the apple doesn't get to choose how it tastes, right? It's just made that way. We talked about these because Skylar gave us her example. Dimples. Inherited. Those were passed down from somebody along the way. Playing baseball. Learned. We know that most sports have learned the behaviors in them. Reading a book was in our foldable. It's learned. Our hair color. Inherited. Okay, are y'all catching on to all of these things?
Yes.
And then saying thank you or having manners.
Inherited.
Learned.
It
If
is
I get out
learned.
saying, ma'am,
When you exactly, she's teaching you that you need to say those manners. You need to say thank you. You need to say you're welcome. You need to say please.
I feel like my
That's
first
her
one was thanks.
teaching you.
No.
Okay.
I feel like
All right. So what I want you to do when you go back to your seats, you're going to cut out each one of these, put them under examples here, examples here. You're going to glue them in, and then you'll notice you're going to fold this like a hamburger. Once you fold it like a hamburger, blue dots. And where does this go? To help us. And what are we going to use this on?
Your
On the
work.
star. Okay,
Your
use it on
work
the star.
that you need help with on this.
Work you need help with. So like when you're walking around the room working on these task cards, what can you have right in front of you to help you? Remind you what these things are. You have this foldable and another foldable. Okay? Yes, that's fine. Go for it.